Morning, Rob. Thanks for
Hi,
joining
Jim.
me today.
Pleasure.
Just wanted to kind of talk to you about the BSU and the offerings that we have. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Okay.
I think probably the first question is, what is the Business Support Unit?
Okay, well, the BSU was formed in 2020. It was originally called the Small Business Unit, but we had a change of heart about a year later and just rejigged the initials. So it's now, as you say, called the Business Support Unit, and that's a bit more reflective of what we do and what we offer. When we were first set up, it was kind of to keep the bookkeeping and the compliance work ongoing, also roll out the Xero and the cloud accounting software side of things. And now that we've progressed a couple of years on, we're kind of moving towards the advisory side of things. So looking a bit further forward rather than looking backwards at compliance. So it gives us something new to think about, and it also helps the clients a great deal.
That's great. And as the manager of the Business Support Unit yourself, who is Mr. Rob Ward?
Who am I? That's a good question. Well, I joined Charterhouse about 20 years ago, so I've been here a long time, seen a lot of changes. For most of that time, I was a member of the accounts department under you for a few years. Really I see myself as just a hard worker, getting on with things, making sure that all my compliance requirements are up to date, making sure that my workflows are being kept on top of at all times, and just trying to help clients as much as I can. So as I progressed into a management role, I really want to instill some of the kind of skills that have helped me along into the team, so that we're thinking about efficiency, being proactive, and just really putting the client experience at the forefront of what we do. Because without them, we're nothing, and we need to make sure that they're getting what they need from us. And so, in terms of who I am, I think just keep it simple, that I'm a hard worker, like to get things done, like to get results, like to see that the clients are happy with what we're doing, and have open conversations with them so that if they need anything from us, we can provide it.
Yeah, definitely. I think I can definitely vouch for hard work apart and getting things done. I think comes down to it, right? So, what is the department goals and objectives for the coming year?
Well, what we're looking at the moment is just trying to really keep on top of the clients where they have needs for Making Tax Digital, really selling the cloud accounting dream effectively. We want to get as many clients onto Xero and cloud accounting as we can, and the more we can do that, the better it is for the clients, but also for us as well. And so we're doing this by emails, conversations, just things like this as well, just getting the word out there that cloud accounting and things like Xero are really useful.
And how have you helped clients like this in the past?
Well, as I said, the department was formed in 2020, which was actually around the start of the COVID pandemic, and so there were a lot of businesses which were plunged into uncertainty right away. And so with the loan schemes that were announced by the government at the time, some of these businesses would need some draft management accounts and some final figures to present to banks and other lenders. And so those who were already on cloud accounting could get those figures from us quite easily. And so in the first few months of the pandemic, we were able to help quite a lot of businesses with CBILS and things like that. So moving on from that, we had clients at the other side of the scale who are looking to expand their businesses. And we've had people who need cash flow, things like that, looking at forecasts, thinking about budgeting, just kind of what if scenarios. So what if their turnover increased by 10%? What if they took on a couple of new staff? What if one of their main suppliers went bust? Things like that. And so if you've got the figures in front of you, you can very easily just plug it into some other software. With a little bit of work, it's not all instant, unfortunately, but with a little bit of work, you can come up with some realistic outcomes and then discuss them.
And that probably helps the clients understand and make business decisions to help them grow their business or save their business, depending on the scenario, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we need to be able to advise the clients. That's what we do, and the clients need to understand their figures. And we find that there are, unfortunately, still a lot of businesses that struggle because they don't really have a good grip of their figures, and that's what we're here to help with. We don't just want to be those accountants who at the end of the year will send out an email, get some records in, get the accounts done, submitted, send a bill, move on. We want to be somebody who the business sees as like a trusted partner, that you can have those conversations with come to them when they've got questions and just actually help, be proactive and advise.
So kind of be the client's first point of contact whenever there's any issues or any
Yeah,
decisions that need to be made.
definitely on the finance side, we should know the figures as well as the client, to some extent. If we're seeing the information inflowing and outflowing, then we should be able to give some good advice.
Brilliant. And what type of clients are you looking to add value to going forward?
I mean, to be honest, we're not industry specific at this time. We've got a very varied client base within the department, but within the whole organisation as well. So I wouldn't say there was a specific type of industry that we are purely targeting. We've got a lot of property clients that we're able to help. We've got a lot of one-man band type of businesses, and I think we can really help from startups to those who are looking to build their business further. And what I find important is that we want to give the same level of service no matter what stage of the business journey you're at. We don't want somebody to think, we're only here for the big clients or we're only here for these guys. We're here for everybody, and we treat everybody as an important partner. So that's how we look at it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the great things that your team's doing at the moment is helping startups get their processes in order and once you've got things set up in the correct way, it builds the foundations. So
yeah,
what's your thought on that?
Well, I think that's really key actually, and it's something that I personally enjoy. I like getting in there into the nitty-gritty of processes and procedures, and so if we can help a business get those kind of processes in place from the outset, they've got a much greater chance, in my opinion, of succeeding than a business that kind of doesn't really keep track of their receipts, thinks that they're successful or not based on what's in the bank. There's a lot more to it than that, and we're just trying to educate the clients and provide as much assistance as we can.
Brilliant. And how have you helped these clients in the past? So kind of what software have we used? What support and services have we offered that's helped them?
Well, in terms of the support, it can be as much as the client wants. We can do a full all-round end-to-end service that would include the bookkeeping. It can include back office services such as making payments to suppliers, chasing for invoices. All those kind of things are things that we can do, and that will really save a lot of time for the business owners and their employees, who just can focus on what they're actually good at rather than the kind of admin side that most people don't want to get involved in, but is an integral part of business. So in terms of the services, as I say, we do offer a wide range. If you just want us to do bookkeeping, we can do that. If you've got an internal bookkeeper and you want us to review or make VAT and CIS submissions, we can do that. If you want us to take on everything, we can do that as well. I would naturally say the more we can do, the better it is for the business, but that's not always going to suit them. So that's the kind of services, but in terms of software, we would always start with Xero. That's kind of our cornerstone of what we offer. It's who we're platinum partners with. We've had a long relationship with. Got a lot of expertise in it. All of the team are certified advisors, so it's something that we know best. And when we're using that, we can look at these figures and we can pick things out that maybe if we're looking at another software, take a little bit longer. Not to say we couldn't use another software, but Xero is what we recommend.
Sorry to cut you off. What comes under the remit of a certified advisor? What's the difference between someone who's not a certified advisor and someone who is?
Well, a certified advisor is somebody who's taken the quarterly courses. They've taken the initial assessment course to become an advisor, and then they've renewed their assessment throughout a year. So it just means that they're keeping their knowledge up to date and being aware of any kind of updates to the products and new tips and tricks that might be useful to a business or internally.
That's great. So that's any time that Xero makes a change, we're the first ones to know about it and implement it. And if there's anything that we can help a client with, we then start using that new bit of kit straight away.
Exactly, yeah. And then in terms of Xero, it adds so much value when you use its third party solutions, such as Dext. So Dext is an app where you can take pictures of your receipts and it will publish them into Xero, and that's where you can reconcile your transactions. This is a kind of area that I could probably do a whole session on its own, just talking about kind of Xero, Dext, and all the kind of apps that work with it. But we kind of suggest Xero and Dext is the starting point. Get your information into Xero, reconcile it, half the battle's done. And then depending on your needs, if you're looking for cash flow and budgeting, we've got Futurely. If you're looking for multi-company consolidation. We've got Join. There's hundreds of others. You know, we don't profess to know them all, and we don't need to know them all, but we know there are solutions out there depending on whatever you need.
So we can tailor the software package depending on the client's needs and what softwares they require. We're able to advise them on what they need and how to implement this.
Yeah, exactly. So part of our advisory might be something that we don't have the skills with at the first, you know, but it's something that we can look into before we pass it on to the client and make suggestions.
Brilliant. So with all of this new knowledge that everyone has about the business support unit, how can a client get in touch with the business support unit?
Well, we've got an updated website, which is always worth looking at. You can get in touch with us through there. You could email us individually. We're both on LinkedIn. You can find us on there.
Definitely.
And I believe there's going to be a BSU bespoke website coming soon, which will also have some contact details. So we're very happy to talk to new clients, potential clients, existing clients, and just see what we can do to help.
Brilliant. And I think the main question is, why should someone come to Charterhouse and want to work with the business support unit in the future?
Well, I mean, we are a great, friendly team, if I do say so myself. You know, we put a lot of effort into what we do. We put in the time that's needed to give the clients the results. Colleagues are all friendly and welcoming as well. So, you know, if you don't get hold of me or you, somebody else will be equally as helpful. And we get solutions to problems. So sometimes it's an out of the box solution, but we will give you what you need. So as a business, you know that you can trust us, and we will help.
I mean, we've been going for 52 years now, and we're here to stay. And the business support unit here their main role is to just help and guide and be a kind of pillar to help your business grow in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, we're a new department in the business, but it's a really exciting time. You know, there's a lot of opportunity in the future for us as a department to grow, to really be offering things that other businesses don't offer. So, you know, maybe I would say that, but I think it's great to work for Charterhouse, and I would definitely recommend businesses to come to us and see what we can offer.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Rob, for your time. I'll let you go back to work.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.